I wrote you 100 times before my goal. You probably never get this letter, my goal. I wrote you 100 times before my goal. You probably never get this letter, my goal. I wrote you 100 times before my goal. You probably never get this letter, my goal. You probably never get this my goal. You probably never get this letter, goal. I wrote you 100 times before my goal. You probably never get this letter, my goal. I wrote you 100 times before.
Description.
Y'all
on
know
top
y'all
of the Snyder Cut.
If y'all listen real closely, you can hear the Majin not snoring.
He's snoring?
Listen, be quiet.
Are you serious? Wow. My brother worked hard.
You can't make this up.
No, you can't make it up.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
Wow.
Just be quiet, y'all, and enjoy the stream. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? It feels so good to start off the stream doing this.
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah.
I'm 39 years old. I missed the chance to be in the movie theater, seeing that Transformer movie. But I promised myself if they ever bring that movie back into theaters, I'm there. Just to hear that, you got the touch. That's the cure to depression. Shout out to Steel Leg History. My dad is slowly doing better. I got a pass for Busch Garden. Man, you be throwing back them beers, my boy. So if any of you want to go, I can take you. I just hit 693 of them things. Excuse me, that's black people terms. Subs, that's a lot of numbers when they say them things. 693 subs. Be blessed. So proud of you all. We so proud of you too. I have some brothers in the back. Let's go ahead and bring them in. We got the Mighty Fist himself.
Wow. What up, bro?
How you doing, my brother? You've been killing it.
Good.
I seen you drop 3
Hello?
days. I seen you drop 3 videos in a row. 3
Yeah,
videos in a row.
I had off a couple of days, man. I got more than I'm just holding back. I didn't want to just dump them all at the same time.
And I see your technology game is stepping up too.
Yeah. I decided I might as well go on and do it, man. You know what I mean?
Man.
It's like, it's kind of hard because, I work so much. So a lot of times all I can do is just sit down, do a video and roll out.
Yeah.
But when I get the extra time, I'm like, you know what? Let me put a little paprika in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put a little spice up in the joint, bruh.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it.
That. Yeah. Pretty soon you're gonna be doing reactions. I can't wait for that, We got
I just want to say peace to the chat, man. Thanks for the shout out to Sandro. Definitely good looking out. I'm glad that you noticed the little changes that I did and everything like that.
Sandro is the man. That's the funniest dude ever, man. He was talking about brother in the back, no guest at all. But he was talking about our brother in the back, talking about he need to step his audio game up, This man right here. Hey, you okay, man?
The pimp.
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's so sad, man. So sad. Hey,
He got narcolepsy.
Yeah, he does. Hey, what up, everybody? We got Still Leg History. Thank you so much. We got Brother Man 2-1 up in here. Thank you, Brother Man. Let's see who we got. We got Sandro up in here. Appreciate you, Sandro. We got Demageni up in here. What up, Demageni? Let's see. We got Phantom B up in here. What up, Phantom B? Glad y'all in here, man. D, what's up?
What's up, yo? How y'all doing?
What the deal,
I
bro?
distinctly told you I was trying to get something to eat, and you put me on blast.
Well, that's what we do. That's our job.
I see that.
What up, Dr.
I feel like this is a personal attack. It's like a Brie Larson skit.
D, what did you just say? I don't know what you just said. Your audio, your technology is tripping again. Is
it really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You got.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
You got the Cat 5 with them, right?
Get the T-Move microphone.
I have everything that you told me to put on.
Okay.
I put on already. I put the stuff Lorena said to put on. I put the stuff you
Okay.
put on. It's just a computer. I can't do anything about it.
Okay, so far so good. Maybe just when you hopped on, it was screwed up.
Okay.
So D, how you been, man?
I'm doing good, man. I've been just working. You know how it is.
Yeah, working.
Working hard.
Playing that game with that naked lady on there.
What naked? Oh, you talk about Eve. Yeah. Don't try to put me on blast. Lorena playing the same game. Don't try to put me on blast.
I don't give you.
Why you putting her on blast, bro?
Cause you put me on blast.
You talk about what about Lorena? Lorena's doing it too.
Yeah, don't put Lorena in that. That's you.
Talk about you, bro.
Yes, y'all all know that I like that game. Okay, I'm a fan of Eve, or should I say, what's the name? June C.U. Because that's the real actress name. Because she's hot.
Well, D, you a big Marvel fan out there, so I want to know this: are you a fan of this show right here? This show right here. Can you see that?
You know what's funny? I'm actually uploading a video about that right now. No, I don't even care about this stupid show. Are you kidding me? Why would I care about that show?
Okay, well, this is why you should care, Mark. This is why you should care. Let me read this right here. This is from Ironheart Baddie. He said we need to show up for Ironheart just like we did for Sinners. Stream it on Disney Plus. Post about the show on social media. Leave positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Show Marvel Studios that Black heroes are more than comedic relief or side characters. They deserve the spotlight. If you don't know much about Riri Williams, but don't feel like watching other projects to catch up, here's a 10-minute video recapping on all you need to know about our girl before watching the show. Do we need to watch the recap?
No, we do not. We actually do not. Listen, Mark, I seen your video on this earlier, and it actually inspired me to talk about it because I totally forgot this thing was coming out. I didn't forget. I didn't know. I forgot.
I got my homie Abel. Shout out to New York City, just like this cash right here. Abel, my man from Man Cave Podcast 101. This is what he says. He said, I got through the first 2 episodes. It really ain't that bad. Disney Plus have put out much worse, to be honest. Now, Abel, you my boy. I love you dearly. But we all know when it comes to that Marvel, you can be a little shill. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, Abel. But
well, the thing about it is what you just read there from the Ironheart Baddie or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Whether or not the show is good is not relevant. For Black people, the call has been put out there. It is your duty as Black people to support this show. All right. Regardless, you can't be critical. You can't judge it. All right. They according to them, for white people, it's already a given. They're just going to hate on it because they're racist. But for Black people, there's no excuse not to watch this show. None whatsoever. And if you're Black and you don't watch this show, you might as well just turn in your card. It's over for you. It's a wrap. You will be expelled from, what do they call it? The cookout.
Well, Mark would have said, you mean to tell me after how they did Jonathan Majors Kane, after they did Marshala Ali, Blade, how they did killing off of T'Challa, I still have to support this show because it stars a Black role? Is that what you mean to tell me?
That's right. Now you're getting it. And this is the most insulting thing of all. Because
I reject that hypothesis.
What was that?
I reject it. I reject the hypothesis.
It was just amazing to me because in the run-up to the release of the show last night, the whole screen on Twitter just blew up of nothing but shills. Yeah. And we had no, like, up until then, there was no buzz for this show. Nobody was talking about it. There was no anticipation out in the streets. But all of a sudden, you had all of these posts on X where everyone was talking about, I'm ready, this is it, Black people, we got to support this. And that was surreal, but that's what we got going on here, man.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. Real quick, D, I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all know how I joke around saying DC better. I like the DC universe better. But it's not much when it comes to Marvel. I love Marvel as well. But this right here, this show right here, I'm just not hyped to the point I don't even want to waste my time. It's so much other things I could be doing to watch this character. This character does nothing for me. She didn't do nothing for me in Wakanda Forever. I don't want to see a legacy character of Tony Stark. I just don't want to see it. D, speak on it.
I was going to say, whenever you hear that, like that person who said you got to get out there and support this as if it's Sinners was his own original story. That's why it got supported. It wasn't a knockoff version of anything. Well, you will have some people try to say it's a version of something, but you know what? It isn't. It's its own thing. There's so many stories out there. You will have some stories that will have some similarities. So them trying to say that Sinners was something like something else is stupid. But what I want to say about this that really annoys me every time this conversation comes up about a quote unquote Black hero, they act like 1998 didn't happen when Blade came out. I'm going to repeat that for people in the back. Y'all act like 1998 didn't happen when Blade came out. Blade was actually the first, even though it wasn't MCU, he was the first Marvel superhero that was Black, that just so happened to be Black, that came out and crushed the theaters.
Facts.
Okay? Y'all need to stop it. Sit down. All the way down in the corner, put the dunce hat on, and don't talk for like the next 3 hours. That's what I need y'all to do. How about that?
Abel said the AI character was not good. They got AI in this? Is you talking about like the Jarvis type character? Let us know. Because I'm telling you, Abel, I know you love everything Marvel. I get that. I respect that. I joke with you all the time saying DC better, but I honestly respect your love for Marvel. But it's just been so much trash coming from Marvel lately, I just don't have the strength in me to watch this stuff. I just don't.
Nah, I mean it doesn't help that it's on Disney Plus. Ain't nobody trying to subscribe to Disney Plus for crap like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that in the example of Blade is an excellent example. But Blade was actually before the establishment of the MCU as we know it today. So I like to use Black Panther there because when Black Panther came out, that was the talking point. You know what I mean? Like, was he going to be able to headline this when we already had Thor and Captain America and Iron Man and things like that? So when Black Panther came out and destroyed the box office, that officially destroyed the narrative for the MCU. So for them to be saying this now, it's so sad to me because this is how we keep ourselves in one position and we can't grow, because these same people who are telling you to get out and support Riri Williams and Ironheart, these are the same people who let T'Challa get killed, even though it was T'Challa in the MCU as we know it today that kicked down those doors. But when it came time to kill him, everybody sat back. Like all of these people who are talking this, we didn't sit back, but those people who are talking the way that they're talking now, it never occurred to them to support this original character that we had established that already proved that it could be $1 billion moneymaker, and it's gone. You know what I mean? They don't see, and that was in the movies. We're just talking about on Disney Plus. That was in the movies, making over $1 billion. But these people want to support Ironheart. You know, what about T'Challa? No one's even talking about that, right?
Well, I'm praying and I'm hoping, because we didn't cover this on Dark Council, but I'm praying and I'm hoping, but we are talking about Marvel. Our boy keep hinting that he may be playing that Black Panther role, but the only thing that I'm iffy about is it OG T'Challa or is it son T'Challa? And I don't even like to say son T'Challa. I just say T'Challa. Now, D, have you seen this? D, what are you doing?
What's this?
This man ain't even paying
what
attention.
Is that?
D, we ain't even talking about what's on the screen. Come on, bro, stay focused. Get out them DMs. I keep telling you to stay out the DMs. You drooling, looking crazy. Got a
what
crazy.
Are you talking about? It's talking about Ironheart Reactions.
No, D, you got a crazy stare. You got a crazy stare in your eye, like you talking to somebody in the DMs. Look
I'm
at
not
you,
talking
smiling.
to anybody in the DMs. Nice try, though.
D, this is what I was asking you. Have you seen the interview where we potentially might have Black Panther in Avengers Doomsday? Did you see that?
No. I know you. I saw your video. Well, I didn't see the whole thing. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw the thing.
No, you didn't see
the character that
you didn't see.
The kid,
you did not see it, D. You did not.
I saw the thumbnail, so I'm trying to tell you that you put up that had the kid for it.
This is the next.
I saw that part.
Panther.
Let's just watch this and then explain everything.
Yes
yeah, I did see this thing. I did see this. Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
This.
Yes or no? There's some speculation out there in the universe that you could be cast as the next Black Panther. Have you had any conversations about that? Yes or no?
Yes, no.
By the way, the yes, no means yes.
Could mean no.
No, probably means yes. If they asked, would you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Next yes, no. Yes or no?
Mark, I remember what you said, and you said he looked too girly or something along them lines.
No. He's got a youthful energy. If the MCU were going to cast him, they would cast him as Bastard, as T'Challa Jr.
You think
absolutely 100%, because they're invested in it now. You know, they showed the story, they set it up. They're not going to walk it back. That's not the way they work. You know, there's nothing that Nate Moore has said, and there's nothing about Ryan Coogler in the way he thinks about this that would tell me anything different. You know, if it were to be him with that youthful energy, definitely he would be T'Challa aged up.
That's funny you said that, because when I was talking to Chill about it, I said it's almost like I don't want to say an immaturity, but it's like a not maturity there, you know, and nothing against the actor. I can just tell he's young. I could tell he's young because he act too giddy. You know what I mean? Because like
that youthful energy.
Yeah, that youthful energy. That's the
I
best way.
get what y'all saying. He does have that because if they were doing what we want them to do, which is to recast him, they would need somebody who would be more regal, which that's what T'Challa is. He's a king. They need somebody more regal who kind of has that air about him, and that's what Chadwick brought to that character. So I don't know. I mean, listen. I mean, they could flip it and put Ryan Gosling there. I'm just saying.
Man, they do that. I promise you, I'll be done with them. I'm kind of done with them now. But since none of us have seen Ironheart, let's just read some of the reactions real quick from the show. Now, we got one reaction from Abel. Abel said the show wasn't that bad. He's seen worse. But to me, that still sounds mid. And this is 3 episodes so far that they got out. Do y'all guys know that it's only 3 episodes left of this show?
Yeah, it's only 6 episodes. Yeah.
This is how much confidence they had in the show. But let's read some of the reactions.
Hey, they could have put it all out like what's that? Echo. They put the whole thing out. So they feel they have a little more confidence in this than Echo.
Bro, that Echo was trash on another unbelievable level. I'm talking about D. I'm gonna have to do it. It was trash. On top of trash. Let's read some of the reactions though. Ironheart reactions. They admit Ironheart sucks, but look at how they are getting ready to blame you and call you an R word for his failure. Ironheart has some fun moments, but it's never interesting enough, nor it manages to stick to the landing. Bland characters and a super uninteresting plot that doesn't know where it wants to go. A disappointment overall. That's Hollywood handle. Let's read a few more. They always say people don't like Ironheart because she's a black woman. No, I don't like her because I read the comments and didn't like her there. Boy, that's cold. That's cold right there. Skin color is irrelevant. I know you need that to be the reason so you can feel safe in your echo changer. But reality, Ironheart is pretty solid with good performances from Dominique Thorne and Alden. How you say that last name?
Ironheart.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, you know who that is.
Han Solo.
Y'all know,
Han Solo, correct.
Y'all know who that is, the fake Han Solo, but doesn't quite soar since it really takes a while to get going. Now, this sounds like a Shield, and even the Shield is saying it's not that show. He said it doesn't quite soar since it really takes a while to get going, and the villain isn't great, although the finale is well worth the watch. I don't care.
How do they have a finale and it's only been out 3 episodes?
He probably saw the whole thing. He'll Shield.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just say, let me just shout out Air and Animal.
We got 75 people watching. Y'all keep watching and smashing that like button. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, Air and I just missed it. Yeah, Air and Animal says black nerds, I'm in the right place.
That's now, my boy. He just texted me. What up, man?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, tell some friends too, because you know, I see people shouting out some of the other channels and some of the things that they're saying over there.
Yeah,
it's like what we're doing over here is a lot more honest. No disrespect, but I'm just saying, if you want to talk about a black character and what it symbolizes and what it means and how it falls short and everything, this is where you're going to talk about it at. Because if they're going to invoke our name, you know, as black people, as black community and stuff like that, then, you know, I think what we're saying, you know, should be, you know, just a little bit.
You should hear it from the horse's mouth.
Significant.
That's where you should hear it from.
Basically, what this man's saying, we're not grifting. We're only telling you the truth, and it's going to be entertaining.
Hey, I'm grifting.
Well, all right. Well, D is grifting. Me and Mark not grifting. We only telling you.
I'm joking. I'm just kidding.
What we want you to do, share this stream. All we ask you to do is take this link to this stream and post it in the text messages. Tell somebody on your phone, hey, there's some dope black guys. They're telling the truth. Or you can put it on social media. Boom. And we'll be rock stars. And you guys will be rock stars. Thank you so much. Hire an animal. That's my friend right there.
Sharing is free. Sharing is free. Just share the link.
We just some real cats on here, man. You know what I mean? Talking our talk, you know, watching what we watch and everything, and just being real with it. You know, so definitely tell some friends, tell people we're here.
Yeah.
Because YouTube out in these YouTube streets, man, it's kind of tough these days. What YouTube is doing to the numbers.
Oh, YouTube is
we need all the help we can get.
Well, I keep telling
YouTube is
everybody,
being diabolical right
but
now.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I keep telling everybody. People don't want to listen to your boy Pedro J. It's going to get worse because that
Yes,
stuff
I heard.
that stuff
I
that
heard.
happened in Vegas, and YouTube name was all over that news. They're going to get more strict, especially on you channels out there who want to keep up with the drama and grifting. But I ain't gonna go there. I'm not going.
No, I got it even worse for you. I've heard that with the real reason why it's going to get even worse is that they are going all in on channels that. Hold on, let me make sure you understand what I'm trying to say. Hold on, let me put this up.
Speak on it, D. Speak on it.
That makes them money. So if you're not one of those heavy hitters,
Yeah.
they're going to be pushing that algorithm way. They're going to suppress you down so they can push those other people who make them money.
So we asking the viewers, and I call viewers my friends. We asking our friends, share this because y'all can fight the algorithm for us. You know, we appreciate y'all so much. Between YouTube and Twitter right now, we got 83 people. Y'all smash that like button because I'm gonna tell you something.
Like the smash. Like the smash.
If y'all don't hit that like button, smash that like button. I want you to meet the So, Mark, it's a video out there where Robert Downey Jr. is totally not trying to promote the show because Marvel's making him. He's contacting Dominique. So let's check it out right here.
Unbelievable.
Oh my.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guess why I'm calling? It's June 24th, which is
It's Dad's birthday. Happy
my
birthday.
dad's birthday. Thanks for considering. Also, God, you've been doing too much press. Ironheart premieres today. It's all been leading to this. Isn't that exciting?
Oh my God! Thank you. Thank you for the call.
17 years from the birth of the MCU
Oh
to
my
the premiere
God.
of Ironheart, and we're in this love together. So
Man,
psyched.
man.
I've
I
grown so fond of you. It's bananas.
thank you.
Congratulations. I'll be watching it with the world, and we'll keep each other posted, yeah?
Oh my God! Okay, yes, we will.
All right, let's
Oh my
go.
God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Listen, I don't care how many times I watch that. It's the cringiest thing ever, bro. It's like, first of all, why is that 60-year-old man calling this young girl laying up in her bed in the morning? You know, or is it at night? Like a booty call.
Mark,
Like,
it's
what the
because
hell?
they're friends. You didn't know?
Why is a 60-year-old man friends with this little girl where he can call her while she's laid up in her bed? Come on, man.
Hey, it's Hollywood, baby. Hey, that's Hollywood, baby. You know how Rachel Zegler said? That's Hollywood, baby. You know how the magic works.
I was about to say, take it rolling in the sky and waving side to side. You know what I'm talking about. You know
A2D2, what's up?
What up, A2D2?
What up, baby?
I'm gonna show you how much Marvel cares about this show. I will give them props if they brought Tony Stark back from the dead and put him in this show. But you think they're gonna do that? Do you really think they're gonna do that? Why is you even calling up for? Do Robert Downey Jr. got that much clout that he'll make this show a success?
No.
I agree.
No. I mean, listen, man, it's bad enough that they cast him as Dr. Doom. Like, to me, it's just one bad move after another. I hated that. You know, when he came out and took off the mask, I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Seriously. It's like I keep saying, I've been waiting for the Fantastic Four done right to blow my mind my whole life. So that means Dr. Doom has to be done right. I don't want to see Robert Downey Jr. underneath that mask, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's terrible.
I'm glad you said that, Mark. People getting hyped because he Doom. No, if you getting hyped for that, I'm sorry to say this. You a sucker. You a sucker.
I'm sorry. Look, I know he's likable you know, we all like the dude. He's got great likability. Yes, he does. And he was great as Tony Stark. But that doesn't mean that you could do this and you can pay him all that money they're paying him too. You could have got a much better actor, well, a much more appropriate actor to play that role if you took it seriously.
You know Javier Bardem that was in Doom? Javier Bardem.
Perfect.
I would have took off the DC crown and I would have put in the Marvel crown and I would have said, you know what? That's it. Y'all won. Y'all won.
Yeah.
But
man, Dr. Doom is no joke. All right. Robert Downey Jr., he always looks like he's got a joke on his mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really take him seriously. He's just got that kind of person. Like I said, we like him. He's got great charisma. But for Dr. Doom, Javier Bardem, that would be perfect because we know he's menacing.
He's menacing. I know you seen No Country for Old Men. You seen No Country for Old Men?
Yes, I did.
That's a villain, man.
Yes, that's what I mean. Scary. What's
scary.
wrong with being scary?
Yeah,
you know, everybody
man.
just can't be joking all the time, bro. And that's the thing that Marvel, like, they really leaned into that. Like, I know humor is a good thing. It's always been a part of it and everything. When you read the comics, you see that. It's also funny sometimes. But I just think they leaned way too much into that, where now, you know, in combination with the multiverse, there's just no stakes anymore. There's no sense of danger.
Yeah. Most definitely. Steel Leg History. How many times did they drop the B word in the show? They dropping B words?
Yo, wait till Lorena gets here because she has some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay on topic. And Mark, I'm trying to find that post because you had a very interesting post about this show. I was very shocked that they did this, but I know why they did this because they trying to get the black people to watch it. You're not going to get those same Black Panther numbers again because it was lightning in a bottle. But this is what you said, Mark. You said class is strong. It's truly poor placement. It's like someone said, let's do the James Gunn thing, but instead classic rock. We'll use classic R&B because you know she's black. Now let's see what Mark with a C is talking about. I'm only gonna play little bits and pieces because this is a song and this is YouTube. You know what they did to us last time on Dark Council. So this is the part where the black folks go, hey,
right?
You know. Let's continue.
The problem with that is, so there is a slight disconnect, like with, I guess with the people that they're trying to get with this is the youth, and the youth now, like Gen Z. If that was Gen X, that would work for us. If they played this song for us,
no, this shit would not work for us.
No, I'm talking about the song play. Forget about the show itself. I'm just saying, as far as the song itself, will resonate with Gen X as a youth faster than Gen Z as a youth. So it doesn't make sense to me they're putting this song in there. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like as a Gen Xer, it stuck out even more. Like if you're talking about song recognition, I get it. We would know the song before someone in Gen Z would. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, definitely. But but there's another side of that too, because I do recognize the song. I know that it's totally misplaced here. You know, like it just, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, you're taking a smooth R&B song and putting it to an action sequence.
I hate to say it, but
correct. That is wrong. Yeah.
Hold on, Mark got an excellent point because that leads me to believe it was Caucasian people that was behind this scene.
Of course it was. Come on, where you at, bro? It's the blacks. The blacks will love it. Just like every time they have any kind of character that's in a video game, they gotta play some hip hop stuff in it. Yeah, the blacks love the hippity hop. Let's put that in there.
We'll see. Listen, because to me, like a perfect song to action sequence was Beastie Boys' "No Sleep to Brooklyn" with Guardians 3. Now that kicked ass, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that was great. Now, if you had taken, and I know this is way before Generation Z's time too, even though my son loves this song. Let's say you took Run DMC's Rock Box or Raising Hell or King of Rock. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it would have done much better because you're talking about a kick-ass song while they're kicking ass. But you got
the king of rock.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Run, DMC.
Bro, I would have watched it if they had that in there.
Yes, because it would have kicked ass. But you talking about Shaka Khan? Ain't nobody love me better. How does that translate?
And don't get it wrong, Shaka Khan, that's a classic. But like Marcel,
nobody's saying it's not. That's not what we're saying.
But when you think about that song, you're not thinking about kicking ass. You know what I'm saying?
No,
correct.
No, not at all.
My boy Abel said, as a half Caucasian, guilty for dancing. But we could have picked another song. That's what I'm saying, Abel. That's all I'm saying. If you try to get that black crowd, get the right black songs on this. Don't put this on there because just like D said, this don't even fit for this generation that's watching this show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brother man, to you, I Got the Power like, is another good one. You can't go wrong with I Got the Power.
Yeah, correct. And I was going to say like this here, for me personally, it ain't got to be about a white or black song. Just put a song that makes sense. How about that? If you're gonna put a song that's gonna bring, hit that nostalgia feels, you can put any song in there as long as it makes sense. I don't care if it's Aerosmith. Put something in that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
What's that Aerosmith? I love that Aerosmith song. What's that song?
I don't want to close my eyes.
I love that song.
I want to sleep because I miss you,
babe.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
Bro,
even if I dream of you.
I love that song, bro. When they played that in what was that song when they were saving the world from that meteor?
Oh, Armageddon.
Bro, now that's how you place a song at the perfect scene.
Hold on. I got one better for you. If you want to go pound for pound with Disney Plus, you know what's one of the best? When they put Punisher, they had Metallica in there. When when he's loading the clips, bro, that was dope. Now when you put Metallica with Punisher, now that's a good combination.
That's how you
put a good combination together.
That's how you do it. But this here, let's continue.
No, that didn't work.
Oh, is this the guy? I mean, excuse me, is that the she? Is that the pronouns?
That's a slug. That's the transgender. The MCU's very first transgender. Yeah, there it is.
Which one is that? Man. With holding the computer, or the one behind him?
No, in the background.
That's like what Ice Cube said.
That's a they them. That's a they them.
That's a he she. You know how Ice Cube said that in the beginning. I mean, LL Cool J, excuse me.
He then tried to play it off. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. I'm skipping parts because I don't want to get in trouble.
The drive. Feeling most with hey girl, how's the heist going?
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, and a lot of people ain't gonna like this. And let's just say Fatal J speaking on behalf. When it comes to black people watching these movies, it was lightning in a bottle for Black Panther, but it's not that big of a crowd when it comes to the black community watching these movies. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a ton of black nerds out there. But when it comes to black men and black women watching these type of films, it's just not an audience.
Oh, no, you're right. It's a niche. It's a niche market for us. It really is.
This is what I'm saying. I don't care
stuff.
Yeah.
No, the geekdom stuff becoming mainstream, it still is not really that popular if you're going to say with the black and brown people. It's just not.
But this is what I'm saying, okay? When you watch these comic book films, and we got the perfect person in the back to speak on this. When I'm talking about these films, when it comes to the man and woman ratio, how much percent is it men watching this show opposed to women?
It's always been the go-to is always going to be leaning heavy towards the men. So you could say 80-20, you could say 70-30, you could say 60-40. It don't matter. It's always the higher percentage will always be the men, regardless.
I wouldn't even be generous enough to say 60-40 when it comes to men and women. I'm thinking, and this me being generous, 80-20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I got a perfect example for you. There is a lady in my job. She's around the same age as me. She don't know. I thought it's not even just comic books. I like having fun at work. I'll throw some pop culture reference in there. I'll say something like Pinky in the Brain. She don't know. She know nothing. Nothing. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So it you have to stay. It's a disconnect between what guys like and what ladies like, and this is the problem when you're looking at how the modern entertainment industry, they want to split things 50-50. That's not how this works. It never worked like that.
Now, this is what I love about the Dark Council show. We have representation. You know what I mean? We're not just speaking.
Baby.
Yeah, we're not just speaking. We got people who really live this. And this young lady in the back, who is the greatest producer, and she got a new gaming channel that I got in the chat that y'all need to subscribe to. And from what she told me, because this show is supposed to be for her, she says it's trash. Let's get it on.
Yes. Hello there.
Evening, gentlemen and guests.
Lovely Lorena Triol. Oh my God.
Now she's a brick house.
Yes. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Make me blush. Literally, I was too pissed off last night to drink as much as I wanted to. Watching this god awful show. And yes, as Demogene would say, total trash. I cannot say it as good as him.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Oh, if I give it to you, right now. Here we go.
Okay.
Trash.
100%.
Lorena, before you say anything, how did you feel when you saw this scene right here? Hold on. What was running through your mind when that scene happened?
Somebody needs to, besides Shaka Khan turning in her grave, besides the fact that the music did not fit the scene whatsoever.
Yeah.
That yet again, Marvel, the MCU has decided maybe if we throw some music video style stuff in there, no one will notice how trash our show is.
Wow.
Because they did it with Daredevil and a couple of other ones. I mean, it was ridiculous, and it just added to the ridiculousness last night. And I had my channel members watch this with me live. As a matter of fact, I have to edit all the video, but that's something else that they brought up. They said, no, this show does not deserve Shaka Khan.
I agree
on this trash. What
can I just say, in the interest of responsible journalism, Shaka Khan is still alive. Okay?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
If you're like me, you just got a little bit scared there.
Now hold on, Mark. She was cooking so good. I was like, damn, when did she die? I swear I was
sorry. Yeah. I thought the same thing.
Don't scare us.
I'm a bad fan girl. I really am.
I was Googling just now.
Shame on me.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Because we done lost some legends, so don't scare people now.
While we get ourselves back together from that shock, let me blow Brian up. See ya. Brian, thank you so much for the $10. Disney has been trying to change the target demographic and is failing on every front.
Completely.
100%.
Completely. I know I heard y'all talking earlier, and Damaj and I talked about this on my channel, I think like last year or something like
Yes.
that. That when you're
Yep.
talking about, first of all, I am very, very, very atypical. Okay. I'm extremely atypical. All right. I am not what you would normally run into on the street. Okay. I'm just not. No one really believes that I'm into nerd stuff, but I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Usually I would say it's probably like 80, well now maybe like 80% men, 20% women, but say 10 years ago, that's probably 90% men and 10%
I
women.
agree.
So you have to know who your demographic is.
Yeah.
Even with that being your demographic, you want to do this show, you need to do this show as it should be done. You would be targeting a male demographic. First of all, if I was programming the AI, it would not look like Clippy from the Microsoft Office.
Okay.
They put that.
Lorena, that's funny you said that because Abel said he saw the show and he said the AI was trash as well.
Who said that?
Abel, he's a friend of the channel.
Okay. I'm not going to say the AI is quote unquote trash because the AI, and it has to deal with the actress who played it. Okay, because she was on This Is Us, and I'm forgetting her. Was it Lyric? I think that's what her name is.
Lyric,
but
yeah.
Even though I had no interest in the AI, her acting was so funny despite this trash script that I couldn't help but like her. So that was just my thing. It was mostly because of the actress rather than the topic. The AI, they ripped off of Jarvis, decided to put some street slang in there.
See, that kills me though.
You know,
why it can't just be a regular AI? You know,
because they don't want to do the work.
So Lorena, you talking about? I think this clip show it. Is this the AI? Oh man, that's terrible.
I'm gonna say this right now. Okay, this drag queen that they dropped in here. First of all, they're not Fabulous RuPaul drag queen back in the day. Fabulous, no. This person has no redeeming quality whatsoever, and that character is freaking forgettable. And there's only one reason that they put that in there, and that was for the Skittles Nation to say, "Yes, we got one. Yes, we got representation."
Yes.
That's it.
And not only that,
she's a crap hacker.
And to bring, I gotta say it, to bring down the image of the black man.
Yes, because you cannot have, and again, this goes back to Riri showing up in Wakanda Forever. Okay, the story about her and her stepfather. All right, why they have to have it end with him being shot, him being taken out of the picture? Yet another example of a young black woman growing up without a father. Okay. A father who obviously loved her, a father who taught her how to do that stuff. He wasn't taking the shortcut with the engine. It's like, no, I need to put together, strip it down, put it back, by itself. That was their bonding thing. But you can't have that. Okay. You can't have that because of, patriarchy, whatever it is that you want to call it, which is absolute nonsense.
Guys,
Lorena, I'll piggyback on.
Hold on, D. Hold on. Shaka Khan is not dead. Okay, so Danny, Lorena, Randy, you started something up in here. She's alive. She's alive.
My gosh. Okay, not for nothing, but when you find out that it's not the truth, can you just build a bridge and get over that?
Lorena, real quick before I get these super chats, please tell me this is not the AI. Please tell me.
That is the AI.
Oh.
Although, I'm going to say it's the AI, yes and no. There's some magical shenanigans going on in
Lorena,
there. But yes.
Do you think this is disrespectful? Like, why it can't just be like Jarvis? Like, good day, ma'am. The equivalence of the astrologies is saying that you should fly right.
I'm going to do you one better. Okay. If I were writing this show, You know who the AI would be in both voice and look? Naomi Campbell.
Okay, kind of good. Speak on it though. Oh, her accent. Her
The British accent.
The British accent. The British Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
The fact that she's a supermodel, she's good looking.
Yeah.
And actually talks like she's not freaking ignorant.
Hey, girl, you better fly right. They're gonna kill you.
It's like, no, we're not going.
Hey,
to do
real quick
that.
before you jump on to that next thing, I just wanted to. Oh, go ahead, hit that, Miss Martin. How you doing, Teresa?
Miss Martin, always supporting everybody. Thank you so much. They got Super Slide 75. We might be meeting up this weekend. If my wife don't kill me. Thank y'all so much for the $4 for the this is what he says, for the eye candy. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, Super Sly.
So I was going to piggyback on what Lorena says. That's not the first time that they've done that. They did that with Monica Rambeau, who in the comics, her father was very much in her life. Not to mention that she had nothing to do with Carol Danvers, but her father was very much in her life. So that on top of what Riri is a whole other thing. Like, why? Because black? Is that what it is? Because black, you can't have your father in the house? Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's exactly what
it's
it
like
is. And you gotta, we really gotta start identifying it for what it is, man.
Mm-hmm. It's just like feeding into that stereotype for real. You know what I'm saying? It's annoying, man.
So D, why, as like the Ironheart Baddie was saying, why should, as a black person, I should support this show? And all you doing is giving the negative stereotypes. Because of the same reason that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yep.
Because that's what the system tells you. You are a monolith. You didn't know that? Everybody here is a monolith. We all think the same because we're black. And if you don't do that, you're a coon. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, that's true. Lorena, from the first 3 episodes, what is your ratings on the first 3 episodes?
Is there a minus scale?
Damn.
I mean, first episode gets an F. Second episode gets a D minus. The third episode gets a D. This show does not know what it wants to be. It doesn't even know what time period that it's in.
Wow.
Okay. You go
break
from
that down. What you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that, one, mixtapes. Who the heck is doing mixtapes these days? No, I kid you not, brother man. Hold on, a mixtape. Yes, a mixtape. So you're talking about AI mixtapes. It's not like Riri has earbuds in or something like that. She got straight up Walkman headphones on.
White people wrote this show. White people wrote this show.
No, like cell phone usage. And then she's going to talk about a Discord in the same episode.
Nothing against white people because I love my white brethren. Nothing against them.
But
I'm just saying, it's just them uptight. I could tell it's them uptight, never been to any black barbecue, nothing, that wrote this show. I could just tell.
And not even uptight in a funny way either. You can absolutely tell, although it was funny when dude walked over to that lady's house who had the dog and just started like cutting the flowers off. That was actually pretty gangster because the dog kept crapping in his yard. That was actually funny. But no, the people who write this are the ones who I call them the white saviors. Thank you, Fox. That's exactly who they are. They're the white saviors, 50-year-old white guys who never had any fun, never partied for spring break, never listened to NWA or 2 Live Crew, never did none of that whatsoever.
Their heads would explode if they listened to NWA or 2 Live Crew. It should have been like that Dave Chappelle skit when when he was a white black Klansman and the dude took his thing off and the guy's head exploded. That's exactly what would happen.
Funny. Oh,
His head would be like, they'd be like,
maybe
straight out of Compton,
me.
what? Boom!
Maybe it's just me, the white guys I knew, listened to NWA and Public Enemy and all that, blasting it out the frat house, which is pretty freaking funny. This show is garbage. It is so garbage. I think the person who wrote it, she wrote, I think, a couple episodes of Snowpiercer, but her resume is so thin. I believe so. Her resume is so thin you can read through. However, just because her name is on it does not mean she did the final draft. You know what I mean?
I agree. Super Sly said something a very good, interesting question in the super chat. Thank you so much, Sly. He said, y'all blaming Ryan Coogler or no?
No, he didn't write it.
He just put his name on it, but
he put his name on it as producer.
He probably didn't put his name on it. Disney probably put his name on it to try to get that street cred.
That's true too. Producer credit, it's just like you can get thrown that in as a courtesy. That's why you see so many actors who they'll have a big movie, and next thing you know, they have producer credit on the movie. It's like, what is that? It's just for it's just for cred. Yeah, for producer credit. But Ryan Coogler had nothing to do with this.
So Lorena, you give this a negative what?
I give it a negative 2. Dang. I will give it a negative 2. Whoever wrote this, all the cooks in the kitchen or whatever, have never written a cohesive script from start to end. I would rather go back and watch Captain America and the Winter. No. What the heck was that?
I'm about to say that's a pleasure.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would rather go back and watch that twice. That actually had way better story writing.
I'm like, D, that's bad.
Than this crap.
That's bad.
You know what's crazy? I actually gave that show a chance too. I think that was like the last Marvel show that I gave a chance. I didn't even. After that, I just stopped.
We about to go to commercial break, but then you right. They dropped the ball on that show, and I'm gonna tell everybody why. They could have started off something so dope in that show. They only touched on it a little bit. Pause. When they was talking about the blip. Bro, they could have been a whole saga of the blip, like blip 1 versus blip 2.
That's what that should have been about.
Yeah,
you gotta understand. Think about this. It's 2 main things that happen in Marvel that they pretty much glossed over. The first one is the blip. You don't have half of humanity disappear and them come back, and then not actual real repercussions to go through it. And the other one, which they just talking about now, is the damn the Eternal in the damn Pacific Ocean.
Bro, I was waiting for them
aliens sticking out of the damn Pacific Ocean, and nobody's talking about it till now. What are you talking about?
I was waiting for the blip, like situations where somebody opened the door and they see somebody banging out the wife, and you hear a dude say, "Hey man, what you doing with my wife? I only been gone for 7 years."
You know what? The one thing I want to add, and Steel Leg of History brought this up because I talked about this last night. They dropped the B word so many darn times, I lost count.
That's what Brother Man said. He said that.
And you mean to tell me this is what you project to women? This is what you want women and young girls, Black women and young Black girls, to watch and look at. It's bad enough Riri's not catching any of the consequences of her action because she rightfully got expelled out of MIT. And that's another thing that pisses me off too. Okay, I almost went to MIT, but I didn't because it costs too much money. There's just no way my parents are going to be able to afford to pay me. MIT isn't something that you can just roll up into.
Yeah.
No way whatsoever freaking ever. The whole curriculum in engineering is designed to make at least 50% of the people in that major wash out within the first year. So you mean to tell me she's got this attitude of whatever? No, she should have been as caffeine addicted and sleep deprived as everybody else in engineering, because that whole major is designed to just weed out, the people who just can't hack it. And that whole attitude was
you want the best of the best. Disgusting. That's what you want in there, right?
That's exactly what it's supposed to be.
You want
exactly
the best. It's like MIT to me sounds like the Navy SEALs of nerds. So you want to be.
It is.
Like for you to become a SEAL, you have to do some ish. So for you to go to MIT, you got to do some ish. Okay.
Yeah. You got
Listen,
you have to do some literal ish. That whole admission.
So let me tell you something. Just real quick. When I was going from junior high school to high school, and you know my Brooklyn fam knows about this. You got Stuyvesant, you got Brooklyn Tech, you got Bronx Science, and then you got LaGuardia. LaGuardia is where Fame is, right? That's the show Fame. That's LaGuardia. Okay, so I'm like, look, I was good, but I knew I wasn't the top 5 good. I'm missing one. I'm thinking there's another one. I'm missing another. I know it's 5 for the 5 boroughs. Each top school for the 5 boroughs. You have to take a test, and you have to get interviewed to get into those high schools. Now I went to George Westinghouse, which is not a bad school. That's not a bad school at all. But it's like you say, for you to get into those tech schools, you got to be the cream of the crop. And then like I saw like the thing in the commercial that they have for this. Oh, you're not the only genius at MIT. Like, bro, why do you gotta keep saying shit? Look, at MIT, yeah, you could be a genius, whatever, but so is 10 other people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why is it you are? Oh, that's right, because Black Girl Magic. I'm sorry, that's why I forgot. Let me excuse myself.
Got on my nerve.
I forgot. Sorry.
But
yeah, I just was saying like. I just saying,
now go ahead, D.
No, go ahead. Get that super chat. Get that super chat.
Dark Plato, thank you so much.
Everyone, I need you all to lend me your energy. I want you to take that. You're really good.
Dark Plato, hi Lorena.
Hey, Dark Plato.
Thank y'all so much for the super chat love. We're going, when we come back to the show, we're going to be watching the Fantastic Four First Steps final trailer reaction, and I think somebody on this panel was won over. We'll be back. Smash that button.
I'm Richard, aka Big Head. I work at the Red House and I'm black.
At the Red
I like pumping iron and pumping furniture into people's homes.
I'm Johnny, aka T-Engage. I work at the Red House and I'm white. I like deer hunting, bass fishing, and extending credit to all people.
At the Red House.
I'm black and I love the Red House. I'm white and I love the Red House.
I'm a black woman and I love the Red House.
I am white and the Red House is for me.
At the Red House.
I'm gonna looking at the sofa is perfect for a black person or a white person?
This mattress is perfect for a white person or a black person.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people too.
And all people.
Pedro, what the hell was that? Listen, I'm just gonna say one thing about that Avengers. What would have made more sense is have my dude Lou Ferrigno should have been the Hulk. That would have made it perfect.
Bro. No, bro. They
Come
killed
on,
him
man.
with
Lou Ferrigno's the Hulk. Come on, bro.
Nah,
that's the old.
Also,
but he wasn't a
I would've
megastar
put,
though. He wasn't a megastar like Arnold.
I would have put James Brolin as Thanos instead of Josh Brolin. His father, James Brolin, would have worked perfect.
Dang, I didn't think about that.
That's pretty, yeah. But that was a dope. I saw that like I was kind of bored.
I mean, I watched that. They did make Arnold look a little weird though.
Bro, they killed that with Brad Pitt being Thor though. I think he would have been way better than Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, you mean
he was
Dolph
Captain
Lundgren.
America.
Oh, he was?
Brad Pitt was Captain America.
Who was Thor?
Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good Thor. That's a dope Thor. This is the trailer right here. Mark brought this to my attention. Let's check it out. See if it changed anybody's minds. Here we go.
Famous around the world. Please welcome.
You lost me automatically.
Fantastic Four. Mr.
D, what you just say? All right, never mind. Maybe you tripping.
Fantastic. Invisible Woman. Human Torch.
I love you, Johnny.
And the Thing.
Hey, what time is it? Say the thing.
That's not really something I say.
It's clobbering time.
That's just in the cartoon.
You lost me.
Never late for Sunday dinner. Let's eat. Hey, what time is it? It's dinner time. Get inside.
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
What is that? Get us out of here,
Lava
man.
ball.
Schwarzenegger.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
The clock is ticking. We are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
You don't want to just crush him? I like that.
The four of us will face the danger. We will protect you.
Family. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself. We'll face it together. As a family.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
Mark, speak on it.
My observation was it was a solid trailer, objectively speaking. Okay, I still have my same hangups. You know, I still can't see this dude right here as Reed Richards. At first, I was upset because they had the thing saying that's not something I say. It's in the cartoon. I didn't like that.
I didn't like that.
Me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, you gotta own that, man. You know, but then at the end when he's like, say it, I'm like, okay, that could be a moment. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm looking at it objectively from the normies' point of view, you know. So I'm seeing that this was a better trailer than what they've had, Like I wanted from the very beginning. I wanted to see the
It is better.
signal. Yeah, like
It's
objectively.
better.
You know,
It's
I wanted
better.
to see the force signal in the sky. You know, like in the comics or the cartoon, they would use a flare gun. You know, but I'll take Johnny doing that. You know, doing the force, and then they introduce them each by name while showing them use their powers. It's
Yeah.
like that's something I wish we had seen from the very beginning.
I agree.
Instead of the nonsense they were doing. So yeah, I think this was a better trailer.
Mark, let me ask you a real quick question before everybody go in. Pause. You feeling the beard?
Not really, you know, but it doesn't offend me. I don't know if that's something that happened in the comic, like after
They said it's comic book accurate. They said it's comic book accurate.
if it was, that had to have been something that happened later. Like
Yeah.
I all of the back history.
I don't ever remember seeing that.
I'm gonna look it
Yeah.
up, but I'm telling you, it's in the comments. I saw it.
I say I made it to probably the early 90s. You know, anything that happened after that, you know, it's like I'm not familiar. Maybe the mid 90s, you know.
Yeah. D, you a Marvel head? How you feel?
So him not just like Mark, that I'm not feeling him not saying clobbering time. I still don't like the voice. He doesn't have the gruff Brooklyn voice. That throws me. That's gonna be a problem for me. Mr. Fantastic is not Mr. Fantastic. And I'm not feeling the Silver Surfer. I'm just not. That is it's just not. It is not that. I mean, again, you can sit there and say, "Oh, she was in the comics." Yeah, for what if you're giving me a what if comic possibility, alternate universe for one of the more. I mean, you got to understand when you're talking about, which again, it sucks that they didn't have the rights to him. But when that whole thing happened in Endgame, that was Silver Surfer that brought the warning to Earth. He was the one who did that. It wasn't the Hulk who crashed down to the ceiling. It was Silver Surfer. It's also a Silver Surfer who was when they was fighting Thanos, and they said, you know, they're fighting Thanos in the you know, trying to get the gauntlet from him, and they're like, go get him, right? And Silver Surfer moves at the speed of light, and Thanos stopped him. That's how gangster the Silver Surfer is.
Well,
So
D, let me ask you a quick question. Real quick question,
up?
D. You're not feeling the Silver Surfer, right? I mean the female Silver Surfer. You're
Nah.
not feeling her? Okay, is you feeling
No.
this Silver Surfer?
I know you showed me this one already. I think you showed it.
Is you feeling that
I
Silver
mean, come
Surfer?
come on, man.
Can you answer the question or not?
This is
I am.
This is what we call entrapment. I refuse to participate in this. This is entrapment. Of course,
Answer
I'm
the
between
question.
Sydney Sweeney and Silver Surfer, but we're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
That's entrapment. Okay, it's entrapment.
All right, man. All right. This man's speechless. I told
No,
you
it's
you going,
even if it was Sydney Sweeney, I still say it's wrong. It's incorrect. Nobody thinks of a female Silver Surfer when you think of Silver Surfer. When you think of the most popular herald of Galactus, you're thinking of Norrin Rad. Period. Yes, there have been other heralds, but the main herald that anybody thinks about when you think about the Herald of Galactus is Norrin Rad, Silver Surfer. And for that, it is the same way I can never forgive Disney for not putting Luke, Han, and Leia together. I cannot forgive them for them finally getting the Fantastic Four and then saying, "Oh, I'm going to give you a female Silver Surfer." That's stupid.
And that brings me to back up Demogeni's point, because when this film was first announced and they said they're going to have a female Silver Surfer, I said, and I quote, "I thought the Silver Surfer was a man." Norrin Rad is the only Silver Surfer I know. And granted, I didn't read all of the comics, but I knew that much because of the crossovers.
Yeah.
So for what reason, and I'm going to say rhetorical because you know the answer to this, to make the Silver Surfer, not only to bring in a female Silver Surfer, and for people who said, oh, it was in the comics, okay, this is the MCU, all right, and they're catering to normies. So some obscure reference in the comics they're not going to get. So that doesn't really make any sense
Correct.
whatsoever. So not only do you give us a female Silver Surfer, because I saw this in the theater, you give us an androgynous looking female Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
That, outside of the fact that she's female, you guys do that. And that's yet another point of evidence that Marvel does not like feminine women whatsoever. That's just me. And I prefer Sydney Sweeney as a female Silver
Oh yeah,
Surfer.
don't get me wrong. That would be absolute eye candy. Of course, I mean, a lot would be forgiven, but it still would be wrong. It still would be wrong, but it still would be forgiven at the same time. It still would be wrong though. But it's just like, look, they had jokes on me earlier before you was here, Lorena, that I play Stellar Blade. It's the same reason why Eve gets so much hate, because she's a gorgeous character that they put on the screen, and people enjoy that gorgeous character. The same reason why they have to have an androgynous Silver Surfer.
I gotta say this because Bajadai says Stellar Blade. Okay, how many times have y'all watched me play Stellar Blade, and I keep going in and making costume changes because I like it.
I've seen it. Yeah.
So don't feel bad. I do it too. Although you'll get the heat for it. I really won't, but still same thing.
Listen, Lorena, I purposely don't play with my favorite outfit that she wears, because I like her wartime outfit. It is by far the most. If I don't like using this word, but it is the most goon heavy outfit you can put on her.
I gotta find it now.
Yes. And I don't use that outfit when I play on. I want to hear the smack from everybody. But listen, that dress is it's a skirt that's basically non-existent. That's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, this is another Mark with a C exclusive.
He should have shaved his mustache. The mustache should have been shaved.
Well, he talking about people like you then. Listen closely. Pedro Pascal talks about being cast as Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm more aware of disgruntlement around my casting, than anything I've ever done. Now, he's acting like you, D. He's too old. He's not right. He needs to shave.
100%.
Speak on
it. First off, when you look at Sue Storm, she looks. Isn't she like 10 years younger than him in real life? At minimum, maybe more. 10, 15 years older than her?
I believe so. I
don't understand why would you go? Because everybody looks younger than him. Like, I get it. Listen, if you got the swag, you're gonna pull a young hottie, but nobody wants to see you. Okay, I'm tired of seeing Pedro. Tired of seeing him. Tired, as my granddad used to say, tired. I'm tired of seeing him.
Well, let me ask this question though. Okay, just because we tired of seeing him, does that mean he gonna give us a bad performance?
I would say no.
I
wouldn't count him out. It's just that I feel that he's just miscast.
Yeah,
I don't have to believe he's a terrible actor, but yeah, he's miscast, and I think at best he's going to redefine the role of Reed Richards. He's not going to give us the Reed Richards definitively that you see in the comic.
Yeah, like you said, I'm not going to discount his acting ability. He is a good actor. I will give him that. He's just what's the word? He's just overused. That's how I feel like. It's just like if, for instance, perfect example, when they first had the original trilogy, they went with people who were lesser known. Yes, I know Alec Guinness was one of the more popular actors in Star Wars, the original New Hope, but everybody else was really no names, and that actually it hurt/helped some of the people who got that. I think when you're getting an iconic role that has existed like the Fantastic Four since the early 60s, you should have got somebody who can carry yes, you need somebody who can carry those characters, but they should have been lesser known. I think that's just me. Because this way you wouldn't have to see Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. You would see Reed Richards. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
does that make sense to anybody? Yeah.
But he's an extreme, like you said, because it doesn't have to be like. And I get what you're saying. When you use a lesser known, they can like own the role a lot more effectively. Mm-hmm. But Pedro is an extreme because he is overexposed. It's like he is everywhere.
That's what I was looking for. Overexposed. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Y'all think they dropped the ball?
To some degree, he's a distraction.
Y'all think they dropped the ball with him?
Yes.
I agree. I think just think about this. Just the cast that we got now. If you take Pedro and you put him in there, it will make a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
He was perfect,
100%.
man. He was perfect.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball, though. And they went with the safe bet. And more news, and more Marvel news, it looked like Ryan Coogler spilled the beans on something. Let's check out this video right here.
I don't know if you've seen this, so much, almost like a fan cast for a director for you to direct the X-Men films. Have you seen that online?
Oh.
I just think you've ever.
No. Jake is directing that.
Jake Schreier?
Yeah.
Okay, now if y'all don't know who Jake is, Jake, and I don't know how to say his last name, is the guy that directed the Thunderbolts. He'll be the one directing Marvel's X-Men reboot. Now, did you guys see Thunderbolts?
I did not.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Listen, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't a superhero movie per se. Like, it just felt more like a therapy session than a superhero session. And don't get me wrong, I like the characters in there.
I'm gonna put it in the way you trying to describe it. It's a good movie, but you'll forget about it as soon as you watch it. After you watch it,
correct. Because you always say, you know what, you hit the nail on the head. Because I haven't thought about that movie since I've seen it. I have not thought about it since I've seen it.
I ain't thought about it since I saw it either.
100%. And by the way, Pedro is 13 years older than Vanessa Kirby.
Well, Disney is into that type of stuff. So
at her age, it doesn't really matter. She's 37. Yeah. So I'm just saying, the point of the matter is, it doesn't. When you look, if they got somebody a little closer, because to be fair, dude is not much older than me. So 37 is 37, whatever. But it just doesn't match. Like, he looks older than her. Like, he could be older than somebody and not look older than somebody. You get what I'm saying? Because he looks older than her. Like, it just it don't even look right.
Yeah, he do. He look older than her. And then
I would have guessed she was older than 37 though. She got a mature look about her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's 37.
And Reed is actually, he is supposed to be considerably older than Sue, but not that much older. Okay. I don't think that Paige. I think he's older than what Reed is supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Well, when you think about it, so this is one thing. As much as I'm a Marvel head, and I'm going to ask you this, Mark, because I know you're more of a Fantastic Four guy. When they initially get there, to me, when I'm sitting and think about it, the Fantastic Four, they go into the rocket and they get the powers, right? They get hit with the radiation. That's what gives them their powers. That's like, to me, that's at least mid-30s max, because you got to figure at that level, you're being an astronaut, you have to have gone through certain levels of schooling or all that stuff like that. Granted, Reed is one of the smartest people in the Marvel Universe, but this team, you're thinking 30s max, mid-30s.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like, is that the age that they were technically supposed to be in there? Okay, is that like I didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say predictions. Let's do box office predictions, and then let's do prediction on if this show is going to be great, mid, or trash. What are you guys thinking that it's going to do in the box office?
I never speculate that type of thing. I just know that I'll probably go see it. Just because I got to ride it out to the end. You know what I mean?
Well, let's give it to Lorena on that one. Lorena, what you think the box office numbers is going to be for this movie? Because for me, I'm thinking I'll be shocked if it hit 400 million. Now that's just me.
I don't think this is going to do very well. I think the first weekend people are going to go and see it because it's there. And like Mark says, some of us, who've seen the other Fantastic Four movies, we got to see how this one happens. You've got a ton of competition that's out there. So I think the first week it's going to do respectable and Disney will take a victory lap, but it's going to be the week after that what the drop off is going to be, because what has been the most recent successful MCU movie that had nothing to do with Spider-Man?
That's a good question.
Deadpool and Wolverine. That was it, really.
And that's like a one-off. So I mean, but you've got Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, that's coming out.
It's coming out.
So you got Jurassic Park, you got Superman, you got Fantastic Four. Those are the three heavy hitters coming out within the next few weeks.
Also, live action How to Train Your Dragon is still in the theaters and is still making a crap ton of money. So you have people who are going to go and see that as well. Because I want to say the same audience that's going to see that is going to pretty much be the same audience that's going to see Superman. I think so. But no, this movie is not going to make a lot of money. It's not. It's going to be. It's going to go down smoking.
I see about 500 million, 600 million for this.
I don't see it that high. I'd be shocked if it hit 400 million.
I think so.
It will.
I think it will, because remember Marvel. What did the hold on, let me see. What did the
but listen to what y'all just said. It's going against Superman and it's going against Jurassic Park. Now let's be honest. Jurassic Park and Superman is more popular than Fantastic Four. You see what I'm saying?
The Thunderbolts only made $381 million. I think the name Fantastic Four. No, I'm just saying. I just think the name Fantastic Four might push that to the 5. I think it'll give it 200 million. I think 500. I think 500.
Okay, look up what Falcon and Winter Soldier is doing. I mean, Captain America. I don't even think they hit 400, and they still haven't made this money back.
Well, with that one, state the obvious: Black Captain America.
That's right.
Let's state the obvious. That is the problem with that. With Fantastic Four, at least the cast still kind of looks like what the Fantastic Four looked like in the comics. So you've got that. And when it comes to the normie sphere, the Fantastic Four, people are pretty much aware of. They're not like all the way on the radar, but they know what it is. So that's why I'm saying that first week, it'll do good numbers, but then it's going to drop off. And I think what is it? 300 million, I think.
Which one come out?
So it'll just barely make enough. If they make enough to break even, that'll be
Brave New World made $451 million. So again, I think this, because of the fact that it's not a swapped Captain America and it's not a mishmash of characters that people really don't know about.
They swap risks, right?
I think the fact that the Fantastic Four does have some brand recognition. We have to understand.
With the kids, D. Not with the kids.
I'm just saying, you got to think about it. At minimum, remember, we've had Fantastic Four movies already. We've had them. Matter of fact, let me put that.
Yeah, we did, but look how long ago they was.
Yeah.
And look at the last. But D, look at the last when it dropped. It flopped hard.
What, the last Fantastic Four?
The last Fantastic
All right. Well, see,
Four?
we're playing by MCU rules right now, and I think that there's a section of the normie audience that is still waiting for the MCU to rebound. You know what I mean? Now the Fantastic Four is ushering in a whole new wave, a whole new, stage, or what do they call it? Level, whatever. But yeah, so I think that the normie audience, they might surprise you with this. People do like Dee was saying, Fantastic Four is a recognizable name. They know that they figure into the Marvel universe in a pretty big way, and this is not a Brave New World. This is something different, and I think it feels like it's something different. So, You know, it just might surprise you. I don't think it's going to be the flat line that some people might think it's going to be. You know
I don't
what
think it's going to be either.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be
So-
a flat line, but I'm saying that the most, I'm thinking 400. And since I heard what you guys say, maybe 500, but I don't think
I'm
it's
thinking
gonna do more
5.
than that.
I'm thinking 5 because look,
I don't
think about this here. In 2005, with the Jessica Alba one, the one everybody knows and love, that made $333 million, and that's
Okay.
2005. That's 20 years ago.
But look
That's
up
20 years ago.
Fantastic Four
You
stick.
factor but I'm saying you factor in inflation. That's got to be about 500 million. It's got to be
true. Okay,
right. So
give you
that's
that.
what I'm
I
saying.
give you
500. Now, if you do the Fan 4 stick, let's do the Fan 4 stick. That movie was trash. Holy
Bro,
smoke.
that was probably the most trash comic book movie I've ever seen in my life.
That was so bad. Fan 4 stick.
What you on, Box Office Mojo D?
No, I'm just Googling the first page.
Man, you gotta go. You gotta look up Box Office Mojo. They got the numbers.
No, I know, but I'm just getting rough numbers.
Box Office
2015.
Look what they did
Yeah,
worldwide.
that was 2015.
I got it right here. What did yours say?
Oh, hold on. Box office.
This was a major flop.
Oh,
That's
hell,
all it should
yeah.
have been.
Did you see worldwide what it made, D?
Yeah, but come on. Yeah, 100. Wow, that's bad.
That's bad.
That's
That's
really
bad. That's bad, bro. 160.
Yep, it says the same thing. This says the same number. The number I was on said the same thing. So that right there to me was an anomaly because you want me to tell you why that was bad? I'm gonna tell you why that was bad. Because that was one of the first litmus tests that they did when they swapped a freaking character that has been known for essentially all time as being a white male, and they put freaking a black Johnny Storm. I'm telling you, that's right there killed it for a lot of people.
I'm surprised.
It killed it for me. I went and seen it, and it killed it for me. I'm just telling you right now.
I'm surprised that didn't kill Michael B. Jordan's career. That movie was so bad, bro.
Awful.
I never saw it.
I didn't see it.
You
That's
don't
the
need
reason
to
I
see it.
skipped it. That's the reason I skipped
When I
it.
tell you it was terrible, that movie was beyond my cold trash.
It was
bad.
beyond that. It ain't even
there's this thought that, oh, you got to see it in order to know. And I always say the same thing, man. If you see like a pile of shit on the ground, you recognize it and you walk around it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, what is this? You got to step in it. You got to track it through the house to realize that it was shit. You know what I mean?
Right, bro.
100%.
So no, there are certain things you just pass by, man. But see, the thing with this
he got it. He got it right there. It was trash.
This is nestled into what Marvel is trying to do going forward as far as Secret War, you know, and Doomsday, whatever. So it's like there's this idea that this is the beginning of where they're going with that. You know what I mean? So it's not just exactly a standalone. That's the reason why I say Marvel still has the ability to surprise you, you know, just because of the way they do their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I agree.
So you know, I'm just a little bit hesitant to say that it doesn't have the ability to surprise. That's all.
Okay.
I'll say this though. I'll say this. I've been saying this, and I say it again. I'm actually looking more forward to the Superman movie than I am Fantastic Four. I just am. I think that Superman
I would
movie,
agree with that.
I think that Superman movie is it might surprise everybody. I think it will.
I think it will too.
I'll tell you the thing that kind of gets me is it was like almost talking out of two sides of their mouth. Because I remember there was an interview with Rachel Brosnahan, and she was talking about how they're going to stick to truth, justice, and the American way. And then I hear more recently, they say they're not going to do that, which kind of is like talking out of both sides of their mouth. I think one of the things they need to do for real to make this thing, they need to say, listen, Superman is an American hero. Leave him that way. I get you want to get this world audience, to imaginary world, but Superman has already captivated the world by being truth, justice, and the American way. He already has. He's one of the big three. You don't become the big three by just catering to people. You become the big three by being what you are. Simple as that. And the thing that sold me with him is when he switched his voice from Clark to Superman. I'm like, you know what? If he can do that, I got a little glitter of hope for him. I do.
This right here is a clip. Since we talking about Superman, this is a clip that just dropped.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
I like that.
Hey, shout out to them for putting this brother in the film. He an underrated actor, man.
I totally was with that cast. If you've ever
Yeah.
seen him on 24,
Yeah.
He's been around.
Yeah.
He's been in the game for a long time.
Isn't that song from Full House?
Yeah, that's Full House theme song. They were
It's
just
Full
having
House?
fun. And Mark, I remember you said the other day, you said it's too much with the promo. And I definitely understand what you're saying, but this is it for us, Mark. If they don't get this right, it's over.
That's the reason why I say the things I say. Keep in mind, most of the time when I'm talking, unless I'm saying that it's from me, it's about me kind of speculating how this is going over with normies. You know what I mean? And I think for a lot of people, they just want you to get at it. You know, this playing around and stuff, it's cute and stuff. But once again, you're running a risk of doing too much and trying too hard. You know, it's like you're seeing these people, like you want people to go running to the theater because they want to see them, you know, but if you're just showing them all the time. Like I know when I was growing up, for example, like as a kid, I never liked behind the scenes stuff, you know, like if they had like a special where they were showing like how they did. I remember there was one, how they did Return of the Jedi, you know, and they were showing all the behind. I hated that. It's like all I'm interested in is the movie. It's like I don't want to see the behind the scenes stuff. I don't want to see James Gunn goofing around. I don't want to see none of that. You know what I mean? None of it.
Yeah.
You know,
You
I
break
want my
the
mind
immersion.
blown. I want to.
Is that what you break the immersion?
Bring. That's right. Exactly right. Bring me into the world. I don't want to picture them outside the world. I remember I saw one clip of the old Flintstones cartoon, Alan Reed. I saw like a video of him behind the scenes doing the Fred Flintstone voice. Hated it. You know what I mean? I never liked that. Never liked it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
I think now this is my prediction. This is just my prediction, and I could be totally off. I believe that Superman gonna hit $1 billion. I really do. I think it's gonna hit $1 billion.
it has the potential, way more than the Fantastic Four movie.
If it don't hit $1 billion, I would say 800 is gonna be the.
You know what's the worst thing, Fatal?
Yeah.
You know what's the worst thing? If it hits 900 million, because then it's like you almost did it.
Yeah, but that's still a win, though.
Because the thing about it is $900 million ain't nothing to scoff at. 9 times out of 10, you hit $900 million, you made your money.
Yeah,
you made your money and you put something in your pocket. But it's because it's probably not going to cook. Because what was the one that almost hit that? Wasn't it? Wasn't the Man of Steel? Didn't the Man of Steel only hit 800 million?
I think it did either 700 or 800, and that was like below their standard because they just knew it was going to hit $1 billion.
I know, but it was a good. It made money, but it didn't make that magic $1 billion number.
But at Hollywood, they got standard. Like, okay, yeah, this did good, but this didn't hit our projections. They got projections.
Correct.
You know. Yeah.
Well, so, you know what it was. You know what it is. It was the MCU that set that standard that you have to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, no, not really, D. No, not really, because DC made $1 billion before the Marvel ever did. They made $1 million with the last Bale Batman movie. What was that movie called?
But who do you think has done it more consistently? I think it's been Marvel.
Yeah,
true. I think DC needs this. It's like they never competed with Marvel, like not ever.
No,
like let's call it what it is. It's like if DC gets a win with this, the best they're gonna do with the Gunverse is maybe what Marvel has already done. Like Marvel's already fallen off. but when it was doing what it was doing, nobody could touch it, nobody could compete with it.
Yeah,
now
that's true.
it's DC's turn now to get a new start. They got James Gunn. Now let's see if they can come with it. You know,
and like I said, if they don't hit that $1 billion, I'm telling you, if they hit 999 million and they don't hit that billion, they're gonna write it off as a failure, and it's gonna suck because I think if it hits that 999 billion, that means to me it sounds like people were interested in it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know. But like I said, I have more faith in the Superman movie than the Fantastic Four.
Let's check
Let
this
me
out.
ask you something though. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead,
up?
D. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Did Aquaman make $1 billion?
Yeah, the first one did.
It did very well.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
yeah.
And once again, objectively speaking, they could have learned something from that because a lot of what went in to go see Aquaman was the women. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know with
what did I say back then? What did I say?
Yep.
Lorena said
it.
I don't care about Aquaman, but it's Jason Momoa, so I'm going to go see it.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go over to the MCU, a lot of their leading men have been very well received. You know, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, things like that. Now the question is, does he have that same draw, would you say? Do you think that the ladies are going to come in to see him the same way?
You got a good point. A lot of people are disappointed that it ain't Cavill. That's where they lost him because a lot of ladies like Cavill.
See, that's something to consider.
But see, I think James Gunn is going for the kids because let's just be honest. What did that last movie do? That Lilo and Stitch? That Lilo and Stitch on the road to $1 billion, right?
I think it hit it already.
Yeah, these children movies is hitting billions. So I think
this is a children's movie.
It's
not being marketed that way.
Yes, that dog. You didn't see that dog on?
I don't know, bro. I don't think this is like a kid's movie.
Man, look, I literally just showed you a trailer with the dog in it. That's what
okay. Cujo had a dog in it.
Well, it's like the damn, that's pretty funny. Ever funny.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's the Grogu.
Lawrence says it right. He says it's not a children's movie; it's a family generational movie. That's
but when you
and that right there, what he said right there, that right there is the magic bullet that every single one of these things have these corporations failed. Especially like when you think about stuff like, I know we're not talking about it right now, but Star Wars is supposed to be a family event that, yes, the men lean more towards it, but you could bring the whole family to. And it wasn't about whatever. And he said it right. It has to be, if you're going to market something like that, it's going to have to be marketed to it. But I don't think Superman is really marketed as that. Although he could be, I don't think this James Gunn movie is marketed for kids. I don't think it is.
Okay, well, let's check out this scene right here, and you tell me if this is meant for kids or adults. Let's check this out right here. Warner fair use, because I know you tried to take me down last time. You know how they do. Let's check this out.
What is this? What the hey, dude? You destroyed the whole... What is this? What the hey, dude? You destroyed the whole...
Is that for adults or kids?
I think it's what you said. It's for families.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's something that people can relate to. A lot of people can relate to.
But that's what I'm saying, though. When you say this is a family movie, that's something that you can bring your kids to enjoy. You know,
I just think that they could have done a better job marketing if that's what it's supposed to be. Because like I said, people need to know that this movie is out here, man. I just don't hear the buzz like that, like out here in these streets.
See,
like,
that's different from me. I see it booming everywhere. See, I don't know. Maybe just the vibe is different on our sides, but I'm telling you, I see it everywhere, man.
Superman. Okay, here's a reference for you.
Okay.
Well, maybe not you, Pedro, because I don't even think you was around, bro. But remember when Michael Keaton's Batman first dropped and bat signals were everywhere? You know what I mean? That was
I do,
bro. I was around because when they had McDonald's and they had his cards and the Happy Meals, I was that dude.
You was an infant, dude. The point is that they, like I said, the bat sign was on every hat.
Yeah.
And that is what you call a phenomenon running up to the movie. It's like I don't see Superman signals and insignias on hats and on merchandise like that. I just don't see it. And watching these kids, when I'm like watching my son like going to school and all that stuff, I don't see these kids rocking with it like that, bro. I'm not saying that it's not going to do good.
But that's true. I definitely give you that. When you look at the generation of kids now, from let's just say high school on down, they know who Superman is. They know who Batman is. But I don't think that's their number one go-to for entertainment.
No, the number one go-to is either YouTube or gaming.
Streaming. Watching streamers like I Show Speed and them type of things.
Yeah. And that's where the disconnect is, where these entertainment industries, they keep saying they want to get the younger generation and they try to ignore the older men or whatever, right? They keep trying to do that. Where they don't have that, they don't have the youth. They're never going to get them. You might the people you're going to get right now, the people who would enjoy a superhero film, a true, like if we're going to say true to it, forget about the Ironhearts, but somebody who's going to like a Captain America, a Iron Man, a Thor, it's going to be Gen X. The people who are going to want to see a Superman, a Batman, it's going to be Gen X, because that's who you want to get, because of the fact that, like we just said, the kids today, they either want gaming or streamers. You don't have that demographic. You just don't.
Well, okay, well, let me even be an advocate on this. I was watching a YouTuber like 2 days ago, not gonna say his name, but he said the movie theaters may be affected over the summer. You might not see big numbers like you think you're gonna see because of what's going on in California. Y'all know what's going on in California, right?
We know what's going on in California, but I don't. That's not really affecting. Wait, what? I don't see it affecting everywhere else.
Think about it, Mark. What's going on in California right now?
The protest.
Oh, they're saying that would be the thing that shakes it up.
I mean, that's what he was throwing out there.
I don't think so. That's just Los Angeles. That's one little tiny part. Yeah. Over there. Yeah, we have people doing it. Like I know some in the Northeast, they were doing it over here, like in Jersey side or whatever. But it's nothing. Because listen, nobody. And to be fair, ain't nobody got time for that. I gotta work. I ain't trying to hear that nonsense. I ain't trying. That's how most people are. Most people are like, I don't care. I don't care. Listen, you came here wrong. You did whatever you did. I don't care. I got to worry about me. I'm not worried about you. I got to go to work.
Well, I said in his comments, he was saying this demographic of people are not going to go because they're scared and they're going to stay at home. And I put in his comments, I said, well, if that was the factor, why didn't they blow up Blue Beetle? Because that movie was meant for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Dragnet. Blue could have been a Dragnet. They get to the movie to see it, and it's like surprise. That's messed up, bro.
Blue Beetle was a flop, so I mean, to me, that wasn't a.
And I wasn't seeing that too. That was I gave it a shot because I like Miguel from Cobra Kai, and I'm like, this. You know what? Terrible.
Fun. It was fun,
bro. I liked it. Yeah, but here's the thing. Lorena, you just said it. It was fun, right? It's like, honestly, guys. When was the last time you actually had fun at the movies? When was the last really fun movie that you saw?
That's a good question.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Okay,
the last thing I saw was Ballerina, and I enjoyed that movie. I liked it.
But he's talking about was you were really into it and had a blast.
Like old school Raiders of the Lost Ark, you just sitting there like
you know what's crazy,
like,
Mark?
oh my god.
You know what's crazy, Mark? I'm gonna tell you like this here. the only thing that gives me that feeling nowadays is an anime. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I watch something like One Piece Red. That like when I see like Shanks fighting, like to me that makes me hype.
That's true. That
was good, but that was a while ago though.
Nah, bro, that wasn't good. That movie was fantastic. It was great.
Top Gun Maverick was a good. That's a good example. But if I'm going to talk about like right now, something I see it's anime. Anime is the only thing that like right now I sit there watching like, yo, I'm hyped. I get hyped watching that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey D, I ain't trying to derail, but I went back and watched the Fist of the No Star anime.
Oh, okay.
Bro was beating dudes.
That's
up
classics.
So bad. Bro was beating up dudes so bad, their heads were slowly exploding and didn't explode. That's how cold he was with his hands. Now them real hands, you know.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's we got a few more topics before we end the show. This was very interesting to me. I'm not sure if you guys seen this. This is Marshala Ali at the Jurassic Birth. Excuse me.
Oh, that's right.
Jurassic
He's
Park
in
Rebirth.
that. Yeah.
This lady asked him a question. Let's peep it out.
Another action movie we're really hoping to see soon. When will you start filming Blade?
Yeah, all Marvel. I'm ready. Let them know I'm ready.
Got another action movie we're really hoping to see soon. When will you start filming Blade?
Yeah, all Marvel. I'm ready. Let them know I'm ready.
What y'all think?
That movie's never getting made.
I don't think so either.
I think that boat has sailed. I mean, I made the point when he first did Blade, he was 35, 36 years old. This dude is like 50, 51. You know what I mean? It's like nah.
Can't do it.
It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
Because all they're gonna do, if they do anything, they're gonna do what they said they were gonna do. They're gonna make it about his daughter. That's what they're gonna do. That's probably why they wanted him. They wanted him there anyway, because they wanted to pass the torch to his daughter.
Let me reach real quick. Do you think the reason why this movie did not see the light of day and Marvel announced it with the other movies like Thunderbolts, Captain America 4, all this? Do you think the reason why it didn't get made is because he's black?
No.
Half because he's a black man who's not going to get run over. You know, it's like you would need the black equivalent of Pedro Pascal in order for this movie to get made. You know,
That's
somebody
who's
who's gonna dance around with licking on glow sticks and all of that stuff. It's like you need someone with the right politics.
Yeah.
You know, Marshala Ali, he's an alpha. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to work with that. I think we had stories that were saying that, right? That he was being difficult because he had an idea where he wanted to take his character.
That same thing, like with Henry Cavill, because he's been known to be a big geek.
Hardcore.
And, when and like he goes to do these movies and stuff, and they're like, yo, this ain't how it's supposed to be, and that's how he keeps getting blacklisted for the most part. I think that I believe that didn't help him not being Superman. I think that didn't help. That and James Gunn's ego. Well, that too, and James Gunn's ego. I mean, he does look like Superman, but his hairline he's getting that Vegeta. He's getting that Vegeta right there.
Bro, he ain't getting it. He got that Vegeta. Don't let them hairstyles fool you. All right, let's continue. Let's continue.
You know how Superman had the S in his hair? That's about all he's got left, bro.
More Marvel news. Daredevil Born Again editor Stephanie Philo says they were told not to watch the Netflix series.
Of course they were told that.
Yeah, and you remember I showed you guys that video where they was not allowed to read the comments. Let's read this real quick. The original take on it was to lean away from the Netflix Daredevil show. They actually told us not to watch the Netflix show because they didn't want to affect how we were editing it. Once we restructured everything and figured out we would do a different take on it, we dove back into the Netflix side of things. We were able to use temp music from the Netflix series and get back to the darker vibe. Let me tell you something for the people out there and for the people who didn't see. This show was nothing like the Netflix series, and this show was complete and utter trash. It was so trash that I never did watch the finale. I just couldn't watch no more.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot, bro. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, I didn't even bother because I knew what they were gonna do. Listen, you can't tell me you're gonna have one of the. And listen, I don't think I'm going out on a limb and saying this, but that is by far the Netflix, the Netflix Daredevil series is by far the best thing that they put on Marvel TV. I don't know anybody. I don't think anybody would disagree with me saying that. But you would take something on that caliber, and then in that same vein, you get Charlie Cox, and then the first thing you have him do is the walk of shame in freaking She-Hulk. Are you effing kidding me? I'm just saying. I knew it was doomed. It was doomed from that. No, it's no rewriting, nothing. You're dealing with Marvel and you're dealing with people who listen. If anybody haven't figured this out, let me get on camera for you. If anybody hasn't figured this out, the instant a comic book / superhero franchise producer, whatever, tells you not to look at the source material, you are doomed.
I agree.
You're doomed.
I agree.
These days have become popular because of those books, because of those comics. If you're going to say I'm not going to do that, you're doomed. You're doomed.
I was telling my homie Gene this today. I said, have y'all ever seen the movie Frank Miller's Sin City? Have y'all ever seen that movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I've never seen a comic book movie like this to where they followed everything in the comic, even the lines in the comic. They used it, and that movie blew up. It just took the world by storm.
Correct.
It felt like art. You know what I mean? Like very, very special.
Agreed.
Yeah. I love how they filmed that movie. I love how they filmed that movie.
So I'm gonna pull a Demagini. If you make a comic book movie, you take from the comic books.
Yes,
it's that simple.
Listen, I'll give you another one. You know what was, and this is for you, Fed. I know you're more of a DC guy, but the DC animated universe was GOAT tier. It was GOAT tier because because you take something like Flashpoint. That Flashpoint animated series was basically ripped from the comics and put on there. Everybody says that, and guess what? It was dope. This thing that gets me, he's like, oh, you can't put the exact rip thing. Well, you just said they did it with Sin City. You can do that because guess what? Somebody like myself who never read Sin City, and I see this, I'm like, well, this shit is awesome. Like, why would I?
Look here.
So again, it boggles my mind.
They'd have to pay those writers. They don't want to do that.
But
all they want is name recognition.
But I used to mess with Mark about this real quick because you brought up the DC animated. DC animated was so fire that Marvel stole it. Watch this. Watch this, man.
Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
Scene for scene.
Bro, there's nothing special about this. This is all generic. Everybody does this shit, bro.
I don't care, Mark. I don't care.
I saw this shit on the Powerpuff Girls.
I don't care,
What?
Mark. I don't care. I don't care.
Teen Titans Go stuff, bro.
Yes, sir. DC animated films for the win. That's all we got at this point.
But you know something though, Fatal? You're not as wrong as I'm trying to act like, because I've always had this theory that DC actually killed the MCU, because to me it seemed like when Wonder Woman dropped the first one, and it did great and everything, everyone loved it. It just seemed to me like that was the birth of the MCU. It seemed like at that point Marvel said, you know what? We got women too. We got women. That's how it felt to me. Like right after Wonder Woman, it just seemed like they started overcompensating with trying to balance stuff out, you know, to bring in the women and diversity and all that stuff. That's the way I saw it. That's the way it felt to me.
Yeah.
Right at that time. Yep.
Well, it's no, they try to be original.
You're not wrong, Mark. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. I felt it right then.
Yeah. if you just copy from the comics, you got $1 billion movie on your hands. I don't understand why they so
100%.
against. I don't understand why they so against the comics. I just don't understand it. Last topic of the night, though. I've been looking through all.
Mark said it. They don't want to pay the writers. That's what it is. They don't want to pay the writers.
Last topic of the night. I've been going through a lot of Jurassic World Rebirth reviews, and they all sound like this right here. So a lot of people out there thinking that Jurassic Rebirth is going to blow up and take over by storm. It might not. Listen to this dude right here. Jurassic World Rebirth is fine. Cherry picks from the franchise in ways that are pleasing enough, though hardly doing anything particularly noteworthy. Characters are thin. The mutated dinosaurs are hit or miss, and it's ultimately just passing entertainment. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't expect a magnificent banker. Don't expect a magnificent banker. And I know I just hurt a lot of feelings. I'm sorry, but I just got to. This is what we do.
Oh, it has zero. It has zero to do with hurt feelings. I'm just trying to figure out. You never discount the audience that this is going for. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who like dinos.
Yeah, people who like dinos. People who are like, you know what? We need to take the kids out to go see a movie during the summer, and we just want 90 minutes to 2 hours a piece, and I don't have to explain to my kids afterwards what transgender, whatever the heck that is. You know, so a lot of these critics forget that. Like for the same reason that they're like, I don't know why Minecraft made so much freaking money. Minecraft made so much darn money because Minecraft movie aligned with the Minecraft game, which is the audience that they were going for. So I saw the trailer for this in the theater, and honestly, it pulled a lot from Jaws. And just like I thought, I'm gonna root for the dinosaurs. Action-wise, it looks good. So, you know, we'll see. It's got to be better than that last Jurassic World movie, which was ass. So we'll do I think it's gonna make $1 billion? No, but it's gonna make enough money.
You know what surprises me too? It surprises me that no one seems to have learned from Godzilla -1.
Man,
you know when they said, you know, the characters are thin and everything, what they did with that movie, you know, it shocked me. And you know what? That might be the last time I had fun in a movie. Now that I think about it, Godzilla -1 literally had me sitting on the edge of my seat. That never happens, you know. And I cared about the people.
I cared about the people too.
That character development.
That was it.
And Raina, remember, RRR. It's like for some reason, like Hollywood didn't pay attention, you know, to what these movies were bringing and what it showed. You know, and that's a shame because that's the secret ingredient right there, man. People just want to have fun. They want to go to the movies like they go to an amusement park, bro. You know, unless you just want to go and be crying on some terms of endearment type shit or something, you know, like you want to go see something over dramatic. You know, in the summertime, most people just want to go and just have a blast, you know?
Yeah, that's what foreign theater, foreign cinema gets. Because like Demajane was saying, the best things I've been watching lately is anime and, yes, my guilty pleasure, K-dramas. Yes, there's some dope stuff.
Yo, you know what I've been seeing? Speaking of K-dramas, this is one of the short that have been floating around. It looks like the guy who plays Wong, but I don't think it is. It's probably just being a little biased. But he's playing the mob guy. It kind of has that Godfather feel. He going to jail like they tried to assassinate him, kind of like how they did in the Godfather Part 3. And it's like it's just I don't know the name of it. It's just been it came over my short. I can't remember, but it might be
Asian guy who was in Italy. He came back.
No, I don't know if he was in Italy because it's just shorts, but it's just showing me stuff like that. Like stuff like that is pretty damn cool. I like stuff like that.
Since we exposing ourselves, hey, do y'all?
Hey,
like
whoa, pause.
Yeah, that was pause.
Pause.
Woo! But since we telling on ourselves,
okay, that's better.
Do y'all like K-pop? I love K-pop.
Oh my god, bro!
I Nah, I never listened to K-pop. I will say some of the ladies are cute. I will say that. Ladies are
K-pop, because
how can you tell the difference?
I give you 2 words to go look up. It's homework, and you're gonna thank me later, and you're gonna enjoy it. Blackpink.
Yeah, you told me about that.
I know about Blackpink.
Tell me about that.
I know about Blackpink. All I know, you know how I like, you know why I like K-pop? Because the one time that I saw BTS, I got Jodeci flashbacks. That's why.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why.
Wow. They doing it like that? Wow.
Lorena,
no, they doing it like that. Like I got some
heaven,
friends
my
in South
baby.
Korea. They're like, but you know, people say it's appropriation and all that. And as soon as I told them BTS was a Korean Jodeci, they were just beside themselves happy.
So they doing their JoJo and KC. They getting that? Damn.
Yes.
I still
Who knew?
Yes.
I still say
Yes.
my favorite Jodeci song was one with Raekwon in it. That's a hot song.
I've never heard that.
What must I
It's like
say?
International House
What
of
must I
Pancakes.
do? Freaking you, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know that's in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right?
Oh,
What?
really?
Really? They put that in there?
Yes. Golden
You got
Wind.
stacks like the International
I
House
couldn't
of
stand.
Pancakes.
I did not like Golden
Word
Wind.
up.
Okay, but at the end of one episode, you know how they always play music like some
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
yes, freaking you.
And
by
I
the
Really?
episode.
And I don't see most of JoJo Bizarre.
I know they play Walk Like an Egyptian in there too. I know that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But this was Golden Wind because when I heard it, I'm like, what? What? No, actually, my daughter was the one who told me because I had music going on in the car and accidentally put on my Jodeci soundtrack. She was like, "That's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Okay, I want to leave y'all with a fun fact before we end the show.
Before you do, because I know you're going to close it out with this. I just want to give a warning to anybody out there who's considering going to watch 28 Years Later. I saw that earlier today.
Yeah,
now, I don't know why some people are saying that this was something, but nah, bro. Unless you just want to go to a movie and watch a naked zombie running around for 2 hours with
a naked zombie.
Yes, and he's like slinging around his like 10-pound.
No,
This dude has a huge schlong, bro. In the whole movie,
I'm done.
He's chasing after this kid.
I
Yo, I shit you not, bro. Everyone in the movie was like, "Yo, is that?" The zombies running around, just like for the whole movie, bro.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yo, skip this movie, bro.
I'm not gonna watch it
All
ever.
right. Go ahead, Fatal. I just wanted to put that out there. It's a public service announcement.
You made me forget what I was gonna say. Oh, I was just gonna say with the anime talk and the black groups talk. You guys know about AMVs, right? AMVs, anime music videos.
Oh,
when they take the song,
yeah.
and they stick the anime mouth to it.
Yeah.
You know who was the first person to ever do that?
Yes, it was Ghostface.
It was Ghostface Killer.
Daytona
Daytona 500.
And
do you know, for the life of me, you can't find that video nowhere on YouTube?
No, you want me to tell you something? I'll give you a little deep cut.
Okay.
So check this out. Now, I want to bring up something that a lot of people might be feeling iffy with. But I'm going to tell you right now, there was a Bad Boy mixtape that Puffy did, right? That's when Daytona 500 first came out, and it was on that mixtape. I'm telling you, that was one of the dopest mixtapes. And Puffy, listen, you can say what you want about Puffy back now, but Puffy used to make hits. He used to make them damn hits. I'm just telling you.
Bro, did y'all see? I'm trying to end the show, but did y'all see the pictures that they rated Diddy? Did y'all see those pictures?
Nah, what
man,
happened?
I
With the baby oil.
I didn't see that,
bro.
I don't know. Do I even want to see it?
Hey, man. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah,
man.
I got jokes, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna give myself.
Bro, I just want y'all to look at these. Okay? Y'all just look at these. I'm not gonna say nothing. Here you go, man. I'm not gonna say nothing. We just gonna observe.
What?
Bro. bro. How you need that much baby oil, bro? How?
How you need that much
And it's
astroturf?
like, and it's like a little. He got little ones and big ones, bro. That's crazy. Like, how you need that much baby oil?
He got small ones, bro.
He got them bite size when he be like.
Damn, bro.
Bro, look at the GIF right here, bro.
That's so not right.
And on that note, we're going to end the Dark Council show. Do anybody have anything they need to promote? Any videos? Mark.
Go ahead.
I said Mark.
As always, I use my time to shout out those who are not here. We're talking about Drum 3PO, our brother Abu Nas, and of course, Lord Callus. We love you, bro.
Love you, brothers.
Yeah, check into the channel, y'all. Just check out for me. I'm dropping, I got some time off, this week, so I'm putting out more videos and stuff for a while.
Yes,
so
I seen them.
Drop out. Yeah, thank you. Drop out the channel. Let's have some fun.
And I keep forgetting to do the display names. So there you go, Mark. Want to see Lorena?
Well, thank you, because you put out the link for my new gaming channel, which I have started up. So gonna be gaming on that this week. Looking forward to it. So please do subscribe.
And ladies and gentlemen, the link is in.
Channel up now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The link is right.
Yeah, I still haven't done that.
She mentioned that in the DM earlier.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention. Go ahead, D. Go ahead.
Shut up, Fatal. I hate you.
Go ahead, man.
Anyway, I actually just dropped a short right now. I did, like I said, Mark kind of inspired me because I totally forgot about Ironheart coming out today, so I did drop a short about that. I have been kind of, testing the waters of doing some actual gameplay, recorded gameplay, rather than just having my Spellbroken game. And I like to have an actual gameplay, describing what I'm doing and how I'm setting my characters up. I'm probably gonna do one with Stellar Blade soon, since that's kind of popping. But right now, I've been doing Expedition 33. Right now, I'm farming to fight Simon, who is like the big boss. If you play any kind of RPG games, you have your regular mainline boss, but then you have your weapons. He kind of falls under that. Why don't you show the gaming one? That's the one I was just talking about.
This the only one I
yeah.
see. The only short I see with Riri.
Oh well, yeah. Well, I was just talking about the gaming one. That's why. But anyway, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm kind of testing the waters with that, and we'll see how it goes. They've been actually doing pretty well. Actually, my last one I did, which was actually the show. What I did with Simon's at 800 views, which is pretty cool for my little channel. And then I did another one, which was probably about 15 or 10 minutes long. And it's like me fighting the parents in the game, and that's like 383 views. So check them out. Give them a like. Give them a subscribe. Do the things. Do the YouTube things. I want to get to 2,000. Can we get to 2,000 by my birthday? I mean, my birthday is like 5 months away. Can we do this? Can we do it? Just do it. What we got? We at 197. Yeah, I think that's like what? Yeah. Hold on, because YouTube doesn't show you the real number. I'll tell you the exact number. I hate that they did that. That they took the real number off. That's so stupid. Yeah, you gotta look at your back studio to see the real number.
And D, you real close too, man.
We're at 1979. 1979. So we just need 21 more.
You've been knocking on that door for a long time, man. You see the way YouTube is?
Yeah.
And they keep. I keep going up, and they keep knocking me down. I keep going up. They keep knocking me down every single time. I was at 1984 a few days ago, and they dropped me down to 1979. I don't know what YouTube doing.
They don't care, man.
2,000, y'all. 21. 21. That's all I need.
Get my dude to 2,000. Thank y'all so much for the super chat love. The Dark Council highlights will be dropping this week. Trying to get more people into these streams. This number right here that I see, 180 between Twitter and YouTube. That's pretty good. Y'all get those numbers up. Take the link. Test it to somebody in your phone. Take the link. Put it on social media and retweet it. We really appreciate you guys. Dark Council will return. Dark Council will return in 2 weeks. Fatal J Live will come back next week. Thank y'all so much. We out of here. Peace.
Fader, what is you looking at? You were staring hard at the camera just then.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
should have freaking paid
What were you just
attention.
looking at, bro?
You're standing on.
You killed Luke, you bastard.
The backlash.
This is the Last Jedi all over again.
I told my son, I said, boy, watch the stream tonight, boy. Watch the stream. You're going to be proud of your old man. And what does he see? What does he see?
I don't hear it now.
Yeah, look at you. It was Fox this whole
What's
time.
it mean?
Stand up. How's that happen?
You can't come back from
I
that.
think y'all did this on purpose to make me hope tonight. Just so y'all can do all of this.
Abu,
It
you
was